to My Creative Chronic Life, and today I am back with part 1 of my reading journal setup for 2025. As you can see, I am using the Archer & Olive B5 Antique Floral Notebook. It's absolutely gorgeous. I do have an unboxing on my channel, which I will link for you below if you'd like to see that in full. Now I have a little confession to make. I actually decided to do the first page of this notebook off camera. I think I put a lot of pressure on myself and I was really struggling to kind of get stuck in, so I decided to do it off camera, took away all the pressure, and I absolutely love how it turned out. It's absolutely stunning. This is basically like my name page as such. I've already created the index, which is right here. As you can see, I've kept it very plain, very simple. And now today what we will do is our double page spread. Okay, so my thought process behind this double page spread is just that I wanted to say something along the lines of my 2025 reading journal, and I just want to use a lot of the cutouts and things that I've printed. Now, a lot of this is clip art, some of it's sticker kits, some of it's stamps. It's a variation of things. It took me a couple of months to build up. As you can see here, the right hand side is actually printed out on sticker paper, so this should be very easy to kind of lay out, which it definitely is. Now I actually decided that I wanted to design some of this on Procreate, so I got some clip art and then I got some other floral designs, and I knew that I wanted it to be kind of gold throughout these pages, and as you can see, that will kind of be my main theme. And then the second part that I really needed was it to be more of either florals, outdoor, homely, so almost like in a cottage, you're reading, you're relaxing. That was my thought process behind gathering all of these items. I have some sticker paper, I've taken some gold trim, gold Posca pens, and I just wanted it to make it look like as if you were stood reading in the middle of a forest. You've gone for a little walk, a little wander around, and you're high up in the mountains in a cabin. That was my thought process behind this double. Now, to make it easier on myself, I've used a lot of sticker paper. Well, it's like printable sticker paper. I measured the B5 Archer & Olive notebook and then opened up a page in Procreate, and then I tried to design the size and the length of what I needed in kind of images so that I can then be easier. It's almost just smaller than an A4 size of paper, so I knew that there wasn't going to be a lot of waste. So some of the paper that I ended up cutting out and having like 1/4 inch left, I decided to save that so I can use it to print out the letters or use stamps, things like that. Now here, all I've done is I've done a little bit of layering on the left hand side. I've used this forest background and then this floral gold elements, which is like floral artwork, line work. It was really easy to put together. I just used a few different variations and I thought this will be absolutely perfect. So all of the floral artwork, you can see I went over with a gold Posca pen. You can just see it shining underneath the light there. I thought it just made the line artwork really pop, which I absolutely loved. So here I am now. These letters actually, to be fair, took me quite a long time to cut out. This has been a labour of love, definitely, in this planner setup. It has taken me weeks leading up until the new year, and then after the new year I decided, oh hang on a minute, I think I need something else, and I wasn't quite sure. I decided that I needed a few more elements, so I ordered some London Gifties stickers, which are absolutely stunning, and I picked them up in a de-stash over on Facebook, and a couple of other elements. So I spent a few weeks waiting for that to come in, because of course in the new year postage takes a long while, and then I just couldn't. After my initial video that I did with an unboxing, I actually just couldn't get stuck into the journal. I kept thinking, oh my goodness me, I'm going to ruin it. What am I going to do now? But in the end, I decided, look, I'll take the pressure off. I'm not going to film. I am just going to sit down one evening and really enjoy the process of putting down my thoughts and ideas that I've created in my head. And that's what I actually did. And I love my name page, it's absolutely stunning. I then realized as I was doing this double page kind of spread that this is going to take me a lot longer than I thought it would. And obviously, I've, sped up this footage. I've cut out some bits as well. They're kind of in between bits of peeling the stickers and things I've cut out just to make sure that it's a shorter video. I mean, and this is part one of our reading journal, and I'm not sure how many more parts I'll actually have coming, but this took me I'm talking about a couple of hours. I even took a break, which you'll see at the beginning the lighting is different, and then towards the end of the day I've had to use superficial lighting, and it's just taken me hours to do this, even up until this end of part one. So I hope you don't mind that I'm going to have to do this in parts. Impossible anyway, although I think I'll be looking at about 3 to 4 hours worth of video all in one go. I decided then that it would be better for me to do it in parts throughout the week, sometimes in the evening, sometimes during the day. Whenever I had some time available, I've been sitting down and filming, just sitting at my desk as well. So you will see some kind of light changes. You might see some different bits, throughout the day, different, clothes changes, things like that. Please don't mind it at all. I have done them throughout the weeks and throughout the days. So what I decided here now is that I wanted to add some mushrooms and some floral elements. Now these are actually fresh dried flowers, and they are very, very delicate, and these are one of the things I picked up from the range actually. And I love adding the florals to it. Not only does it have such a wonderful smell as well, it smells so lovely, like fresh flowers, as soon as I even open the notebook now, which I love. So I decided to use some just normal sticker glue, and it's turned out pretty well. So you can see here now, I just thought I would share some bits of how I actually do it, adding small dabs of glue, and then all I do is I use whatever leftover sticker paper backing that I have just to press down the stickers. I had to actually leave this for about 48 hours for it to completely dry. I had to leave it open like this, otherwise if I closed the book it would kind of stick to each other. So it took me 2 days. I had to wait patiently. By this point, I was already really stuck into, right, okay, I've got an idea. I've got a feel to this. I've got a flow to this. And now I know what I want to do with the remainder of my reading journal. Now, my other thought process behind my reading journal is I did a lot of research. I did a lot of research from about October of last year, because I was thinking about how I wanted my reading journal to be, because previously I had an A5, I think, yes, an A5 or a B5, I can't remember which one it is now, but I had a Handwrite Designs notebook which I absolutely loved, but I just wanted something a little bit more luxurious, something that I would gravitate towards. And then when I saw the antique floral what's it called, collection, when I saw the collection from Archer and Olive, I knew I needed this notebook. And of course, that took a couple of weeks to come. It was perfect. I did order it direct from the website, and honestly, perfect. The review was perfect. Had no issues, no qualms. The book in itself is absolutely gorgeous. Like, I'm so pleased that I picked this notebook up. I think I'll be forever changed, and I think I will continue on buying Archer and Olive notebooks. And because this felt like luxury, I also wanted my thoughts and process towards my reading, because it's something that I've always enjoyed reading, but at the same time I've fallen out of love with it because I've had issues with disability and my hands and pain and things like that. So last year I picked up a Kindle R&D stash, and I absolutely love it. So now I'm actually reading a lot more. Unfortunately, by the time you're seeing this, we're already in the month of March, so we are a few months behind, but I am trying my best to really get caught up. So we'll probably do like maybe part 2 to 3 possibly of this initial setup, and then I'll probably do January, February, and March reading journal kind of setup together, and then I'll go ahead and do monthly catch-ups, either TBR list, what I'm thinking about reading, and then show you at the end kind of what I've read, and we'll do our reviews together as such. So I'm really looking forward to it. Of course, as I'm filming part 1, I'm actually almost towards the end of part 2. I became very indecisive to what I actually need and want in my planner because I had the luxury of having a larger size. It meant I could decorate as well as have enough space to be able to write down my thoughts and feelings and things like that. But you'll see as we go along throughout this kind of setup, reading journal setup, you'll see how some pages I've made easy for myself, and then other pages I've spent a little bit of time decorating. This one definitely is one that was a labor of love. It took me hours to do, just because I listened to an audiobook, A Court of Thorns and Roses at the time it was, and I loved it, and I was immersive, as you call immersive reading as such, and I absolutely loved it. Now here is where I think that I'm ready, I'm all done, and then I remembered, hang on a minute, when I wrote down a sketch and I did a sketch on Procreate, I actually decided that I needed something else, and I thought in my mind, these little gold sticker strips that I picked up from Hobbycraft, that these would be perfect. Because I'd already had enough gold, I thought where the split between both pages is, I would just add a little bit of the gold element. But then there was still something missing. I just couldn't quite put my finger on it. You know, how I did the name page, it just didn't feel as cohesive. So I needed something else to add to this. So I decided that I wanted to add a sticker from the London Gifties, and it's a fashion girl just reading a book, and I love it. And then I decided that I added some die cut stickers. Some die cut paperwork. So I do have a cutting machine at home. I do have an embosser. I have lots of crafty things because I used to be a card maker, and a lot of the stuff that I've used here, so you can see how I've, on the left hand side just in the camera now, you can see I've got some elements which I like to take out. So I have an idea of how I usually want the page to look like, because I usually sketch it out because I'm unsure otherwise, and I definitely didn't want to be ruining it for sure. So you will see as my pages go on, I like to add, I like to practice, I like to see where they're going, because I didn't actually do any sketching except for this double page. So you can see here now I'm going to add the London Gifties, Fashion Girl, and then I'll add some die cut card work, and that'll be us completed. Now I think what I'll do is I will go ahead and add some music. You will see that I start again from the beginning of the book as a new day starts, just so you can see in the different lighting and see kind of where we are at. So when it starts back again at the beginning, it means it's probably just been another day, so please don't mind that. I will go ahead and pop in some music so you can enjoy that throughout the remainder of this video. I might pop in from time to time if I think I need to explain anything, or if I just think that I want to share some more opinions. We'll see how we get on. But for now, hope you enjoy it. Okay, and here we are onto the next day and onto the next double kind of page. I keep some post-it notes just to kind of let me know what I want to pop in next. So today we are going to create a ratings page and then my readings goal. Now, I haven't done this in previous kind of reading journals only because I'm not quite sure what kind of rating I actually wanted to give. So what I decided was this year I was going to just read as much as I possibly can and see how it went. Sorry, I mean last year. But then this year I decided that I think rather than just give everything a 5-star or rather than just say it was brilliant, no, I'm really gonna get down to the nitty and the gritty. So I definitely wanted a ratings page. Now I don't actually show you putting down the stars or anything like that, but I'll add some pictures in towards the end, or maybe when I come back in we can talk through them. But they're pretty much basic, 1 to 5 stars, 1 hated, didn't like, DNF, 5 excellent, that type of thing. So that is the ratings page, and then I wanted to write down my yearly goals. I put a lot of pressure on myself in various aspects of my life, and reading is something that I just think I need to relax about. So having a yearly goals page that I can come back to, it's not necessarily goals as in like you need to do this, 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 and this, I need to do it this. Like, no, I just want to keep it very simple. So I picked, I think, 3 basic rules, just the things to remind me of why I enjoy reading and to try to stick to throughout the year. So a goal that's not restrictive for sure. So I decided here I was going to use the sticker paper as well as the kind of corner floral elements, but this time I thought rather than peel up the stickers, I'd double check and make sure how I wanted things to be placed beforehand. I like to do that because it gives me a visual before I actually stick things down, because sometimes I have a creative mind and I can see it in my head, but then when I go to put it down on paper I miss some elements and then I'm always pulling stickers back up. But this way is a great way to just spend a couple of minutes thinking, okay, is this how I want something to go? Will I have enough space? Will I have enough to do what I need this page to do? And as you can see here, the sticker fashion girl is actually quite large and it is not enough for my circular frame, so I decided to go ahead and cut around it. I also decided I wanted to pop on an audiobook and listen to that. My current audiobook is A Court of Mist and Fury, and I'm absolutely loving it. I like to have that immersive feeling as such because it just helps me relax. Usually I like to watch something, but especially when I'm creating whilst I'm filming, I think watching something just keeps me distracted, whereas if I'm listening to something in the background, it definitely helps keep me more relaxed. Now this fashion girl is actually clip art which I purchased off of Etsy, and then I stick them, sorry, I don't actually stick them, they're actually printed out on sticker paper. What I mean is I add them to Procreate, I size them down, sometimes I keep them large, sometimes keep them small. I have lots of variations available, and I just kind of look through and sift through, okay, what do I feel like this page kind of needs? And then this little deer here again is outline, floral outlines, I think it's called Wonderland or something like that. Now originally my entire thought process, kind of inspiration, was the Handwrite Designs Woodland sticker kit, which I picked up in the Christmas advent calendar for 2024. That's what I thought I wanted to use, and then I decided that I need a little bit more gold, I wanted a bit more of the woodland outside theme, then did more book related items, and I literally just fell down the rabbit hole. Now of course I will be using a lot of these things, but I've decided any leftovers, anything that I don't use, I think I'm going to either pop on a destash page, or I might just be able to just send them for free. Hopefully if there are somebody in the UK, that's something I'll be able to do. But if it's like not too heavy in terms of postage, of course I don't mind sharing it elsewhere, but it will just be stickers that are left over in terms of this reading journal setup, because I don't think that I'll be repeating anything throughout this notebook itself. So I think I will probably pop that over on my Instagram page. If you're not already following me over on my Instagram or the social media accounts, you can go ahead and follow me at Mycreativechroniclife. And what I'm going to do now is I'll just pop over some music so you can enjoy the rest of this setup. Okay, so I wanted to do a 2025 a year in pixels where you write down or kind of record how many pages a day or a week you're reading on a particular month. But rather than do it all from scratch, I decided that I was going to decorate it on Procreate, and then what I wanted to do is add all of these other elements after. So it was a combination of Canva / Procreate, and I used the clip art and I created these stickers, which you can see are super easy to peel down. And the next one I wanted was a 50 book challenge, and that's what I set myself up for 2025. I think that's a quite a hard number as such, but at the same time I wanted to challenge myself, hopefully, because I now have the Kindle. So I used to be able to read in the past one book every other day, and it didn't matter what type. The larger the book obviously took me a bit longer, but a 300-page book would easily, I'd be done in a couple of days. Whereas now it takes me a lot longer because I'm not well, I've got other conditions and fatigue and all the good stuff that comes with that. So I thought 50 book channel, just to see if I can really push myself, because I know how much I enjoy reading. I absolutely love it. So here I am just peeling down the stickers, and I think I'm just going to keep it as simple as that. And then these next two pages are 12 books in 2025 and a reading tracker shelf. Now the 12 books in 2025 are not necessarily my favorite books or what I really enjoyed or what I'm giving a 5-star. I'm just going to pick one book that I read throughout that month, and I'm just going to pop that down. Or I could write down how many books I read in terms of total, and then I can pick my favorite and then maybe do it that way. I haven't quite decided. On the right hand side, I just like the look of this book tracker, so I decided that I wanted to make sure that I had something that I could possibly colour in or write down the spines. I'm not quite sure how many books are on there, but again, I used the kind of book shelf decoration from Canva, and then you can download it, and then I imported it into Procreate and then created the rest of the layout. These pages were pretty easy to put together. Of course, adding the gold trim takes a little bit of time and patience, but I get it done. So here I am now. I think this is the following day or the same day, I can't quite recall. And this is me showing you the ratings page and the yearly goals. And as you can see how I've just added some of my goals and some of my rating criteria, which again I'll go through when I do maybe a January setup. So the plan today was to do a book TBR list, but rather than call it a TBR list, I decided I wanted to call it a maybe next setup. So because I'd been using a lot of the gold floral elements and other things, I thought, hang on, I wanted to add some depth in terms of adding this brown. So you can see me setting up both corners. The setups are pretty much the same, except I rotate the fashion girls, I rotate what I'm using because I need the space on the next few pages, so I thought I would keep it at a minimum. I actually forgot that I wanted to do a books master list where I write down an entire list of all the books that I own, whether they've purchased them from Kindle, whether they're physical, whether they're audiobooks. So I decided that I would put that in this page first and then do the TBR list after. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you enjoy these next couple of pages and I'll catch back up with you in a moment. loved how this double spread turned out, so I've just wrote books master list and then go over with the gold Posca pen, and then I did 2 pages for that, and I think my next page is books read in 2025. I thought I would switch it up and use some of this gold cardstock that I had available. I think it's stunning, and what I did was just measure out the corners to the best of my ability, cut it into a square, and then kind of ripped down the middle of it just so that it could give me 2 equal pieces. These pages are just to mark down any books that I read in 2025. I'm not quite sure at this point if I wanted to do a separate page for my audiobooks or Kindle books, but then I thought, hang on, I'm not actually going to be reading physical books a lot this year unless it's off of my physical TBR list. So I thought I would give myself a couple of pages to decide if I want to column them and then write it down, or if I want to just mark down what books I've read in 2025 in terms of like a little sticker. So if I wanted to print out books, you know, the cover of a book and such, I could do that and make them small, or I could then physically write down and make like a column list. But I think what I'm rotating towards is a little sticker, and then I can write down if it's a Kindle, if it's audiobook, if it's immersive reading, which is both, or is it a physical book, and I can write down maybe the stars underneath. But I think the best thing, what I think I'd like to do is print out the stickers and do the little books and see how it goes from there. I think this final double page is one of my favorites because I got to use more stickers. I really like how this has turned out. I like the uniqueness of it, but also the cohesiveness of it. And here I am now, just spending a little time in the evening just putting down the books master list. I cut out these little teeny tiny book covers. I upload them up to Canva and then cut them out by hand. Some are wonky, some are straight, but it's absolutely fine. And here I am now just laying them down on this page. I thought I could just do a little conversation and talk about it, but then I decided I'll do that in part 2. So here's the final page of where I'm just adding the little cute little books, and then when it comes to part 2, I'll talk about a little bit more about the books and what I'm reading and what I'm currently not reading. Could be in part 2, could be in part 3, but this is the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed watching part 1. I've really enjoyed creating this video. I've taken my time. I even purchased a new mic, so I hope now you'll hear a lot less background noise and just a little bit more of me personally. Let me know how you find the mic, because I did find in the past that I had some issues with background noise, also had some issues with either the volume being too loud or then too low. So hopefully this will kind of reduce all of that background noise and you'll be able to just have a nice cohesive video to watch. Now of course you can always put me on mute, and this is why I like to do a mixture of talking and then a little bit of music, so if you are somebody who likes to watch whilst doing other things, you don't have to get confused. But if you are like me and you want to hear what's going on, you can have a little bit of both, so both options are available. Well, thank you so much for watching. I do hope if you have any questions, you leave them in the comment box below, and of course you can always go ahead and subscribe to my channel to receive notifications of upcoming upcoming videos. This video will be going out on Sunday, which is today, so you'll be seeing it today. I'm actually doing this voiceover on the Saturday, and then in the next video, part 2 of the reading journal should either be up in the next 10 days. I'll just pop it out like that because I've got a lot of stuff going on, so we'll see. But in the meantime, you will see some other plan with me videos and some other color with me videos. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, you can do. All you've got to do is click the little bell icon, and you can follow me over on my social media accounts at Mycreativechroniclife. You can find me on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Threads app, and if you are a book lover like me, you can go ahead and follow me either on Goodreads or on Fable. Well, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye bye.